If I were to tell you that a life before you were born was already prearranged, that we come into this world to learn life's lessons, to evolve in consciousness for the soul through the experience of being human, would you believe it? People are born into this life not merely to pass through peaceful days, but to learn invaluable lessons, to grow spiritually and mentally. The saying, "Life is 1,000 days of sorrow," reminds us that pain, suffering, and dissatisfaction are integral parts of the human experience. This shows us that hardships, obstacles, sorrows, and disappointments are things we must face, more often than escape in this life. Life, by its nature, is a series of challenges and multifaceted experiences, where each step, each lesson, refines and matures us. These storms aren't here to make us falter. They're here to help us grow stronger, more insightful, and spiritually evolved, to ultimately reach a place of ease and serenity amidst life's shifting tides and storms. So how can we live this life with calm and grace, unaffected by its ups and downs, and resilient in the face of life's storms? In moments when the heart feels heavy and the mind troubled, remember the timeless teachings of the Buddha. These lessons serve as guiding lights, helping us to ease our burdens and find inner peace amid all the changes. Let us explore these teachings together, so we may learn to receive and face life with lightness, resilience, and steadiness. Welcome to the Buddhist path, where we delve into the profound teachings of energy alignment, spiritual growth, and mindful living, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Buddhism. Here, we share insights to help you lead a life full of balance, peace, and purpose. If you find these teachings valuable, please remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who may benefit from these insights. Together, let's expand the circle of positive energy and well-being. Now, let's begin. 1. Live mindfully. True happiness lies in each day, not in fleeting success or fame. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Imagine life as a journey, not a destination. Buddhism reminds us that true happiness doesn't come from some distant achievement or grand success, but from how we choose to experience each moment. Every day, every small action holds the potential for joy, if only we're present to notice it. Picture a potter at their wheel, hands gently molding the clay, focused on each curve and touch. For the potter, the joy isn't simply in the finished vase or bowl. It's in each careful motion, each moment of creation. The work becomes a meditation, a dance between intention and presence. The final piece is beautiful, but it's the process that fills the heart with satisfaction. Our lives are much the same. We often get lost chasing goals, thinking that happiness lies somewhere in the future, in the next promotion, the next achievement, or the approval of others. But in reality, it's how we spend each day, each hour, that creates a fulfilling life. To live mindfully means to savor the small joys, the warmth of a morning sunbeam, the laughter shared with a friend, the quiet of evening. Don't let happiness hinge on something yet to come. Recognize that it's in the small, mindful acts, in the things we might overlook, where life truly resides. So as you go through today, let go of the need for grand achievements to define your happiness. Instead, bring your full awareness to whatever you're doing, no matter how ordinary it may seem. When we let ourselves truly live in each moment, success and joy flow naturally, woven into the fabric of each day. Happiness is here, in the present, waiting to be discovered. Dich Sang Tang Viet 2. Embrace the present moment. Joy comes from living here and now. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. One of the most transformative teachings of Buddhism is the call to live fully in the present. How often do we find ourselves tangled in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future? We replay old memories, worry about outcomes yet to come, and in the process, overlook the beauty and peace of what's right in front of us. Buddha's wisdom reminds us that true peace is not something waiting to be found. It's already here, in the present moment, waiting to be embraced. There's a simple yet profound story from the Buddha's life that illustrates this perfectly. While traveling through a forest, Buddha encountered a man who was visibly troubled. When asked about his worries, the man explained that he was burdened by his past mistakes and overwhelmed by fears of the future. The Buddha, with his timeless insight, responded, "Imagine a man struck by an arrow, then immediately struck by a second. Would he not suffer twice as much?" With this metaphor, Buddha illuminated a powerful truth. It's not just the challenges of life that cause us pain, but the second arrow, our own mind, our worries and regrets, that adds unnecessary suffering. This story serves as a gentle reminder that much of our suffering is self-inflicted. The first arrow represents life's natural struggles, the unavoidable pains of existence. But the second arrow, the one we often shoot at ourselves, is our own creation. It's the regret, the rumination, the anxiety we add to our experiences, making what is difficult even more burdensome. Imagine a day without that second arrow. Imagine simply letting each moment be what it is, without judgment or resistance. Living in the present moment is not just a practice. It's a gift we can give ourselves every day. Each breath we take is an invitation to return to this very moment where life is happening. When we focus on the here and now, we free ourselves from the heaviness of what could have been and what might be. In the quiet of this presence, we can find a gentle joy that is untouched by the past or the future, a joy that simply is. So, take a moment now to pause. Breathe deeply, feeling each breath as it enters and leaves your body. Bring your attention to the sensations of the present, the feeling of your skin, the sounds around you, the rhythm of your breath. Release thoughts of what has been and what might be, and allow yourself to be here, fully, right now. In embracing the present, we discover a boundless freedom and peace, untouched by time. This moment, just as it is, holds all the richness of life, and perhaps, as Buddha taught, this moment alone is enough. The 3. Find strength in silence. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Silence is sometimes the best answer. In a world that often celebrates noise, speed, and constant expression, silence can feel like an unusual, even uncomfortable choice. Yet Buddha's teachings remind us of the depth, wisdom, and strength that lie within silence. Silence is not emptiness. It's a powerful state that holds the potential for insight, peace, and understanding. When we choose silence, we aren't withdrawing or avoiding life. We're opening a channel to listen more closely, to the world, to others, and most importantly, to ourselves. Imagine a lake on a calm morning, still and undisturbed. In this quiet, the water becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting everything around it with clarity and truth. Silence like that lake allows us to see things as they are, unclouded by the turbulence of constant thought and speech. When we stop speaking and let go of the noise around us, we allow our minds to settle, to reflect our true emotions and thoughts. This state of inner calm offers clarity that words often obscure. In silence, we can discover answers to questions we may not even have voiced, solutions to problems we didn't know were troubling us. We begin to hear the quiet murmur of our intuition, the inner guide that always knows the way forward if we only take the time to listen. This inner clarity becomes a compass, helping us navigate life with authenticity and purpose. Buddha's wisdom encourages us to embrace silence not as a retreat, but as a refuge, a space where we reconnect with our true selves. Silence gives us a chance to process emotions, heal wounds, and clear away the mental clutter that can cloud our lives. It allows us to align our minds and hearts, fostering a sense of unity within ourselves that can feel like a breath of fresh air amid the noise. So next time you find yourself overwhelmed, unsure, or lost in the chaos of thoughts and worries, try stepping into silence. Rather than seeking comfort in external noise or distractions, give yourself a few moments of stillness. Let this quiet be a healing space, a sanctuary where your mind and heart can come together in harmony. In this stillness, you may find answers that have been waiting patiently to reveal themselves, offering strength, wisdom, and a renewed sense of purpose. Silence is not merely the absence of words, it's the presence of peace. Embrace it and let it become a source of strength, clarity, and guidance. In the quiet, you may just discover that everything you've been seeking is already within you. 4. Release fear by embracing faith in the future. The root of suffering is attachment. In the teachings of the Buddha, one of the most profound truths is that attachment leads to suffering. Whether it's attachment to people, possessions, status, or outcomes, the more tightly we hold, the more we feel the weight of fear. Fear of loss, fear of change, fear of the unknown. Buddha taught that true freedom and peace arise not from controlling life's conditions, but from learning to let go and flow with the natural course of existence. A story from the Buddha's life offers a powerful example. There was once a wealthy merchant who approached the Buddha, troubled by his fear of losing his fortune. Despite his wealth, the man lived in constant worry, unable to enjoy his riches. The Buddha responded by asking the man to bring him a piece of cloth. Holding the cloth tightly, the Buddha dipped it into a pot of dye, explaining that the more tightly one holds onto something, the deeper the stain. When he released the cloth, the dye began to dissolve, leaving the cloth clear once again. Attachment, the Buddha said, stains the mind. Only when we release does the mind find peace and clarity. Similarly, in our lives, when we cling too tightly to what we have or what we wish for, we prevent ourselves from experiencing true freedom. Attachment clouds our vision, causing us to see life only through a lens of worry, stress, and control. Yet, by loosening our grip, we begin to clear away that heaviness and open our hearts to what each moment brings. Consider also the parable of the man hanging from a cliff, holding tightly to a branch while a tiger waits below. As he clings for his life, fearing both the drop and the tiger, he notices a single wild strawberry within his reach. Instead of staying lost in fear, he reaches out, picks the strawberry, and savors its sweetness. In that moment, his fears dissolve, replaced by gratitude for the beauty of the present. This story reminds us that often our deepest suffering lies not in what we experience, but in how tightly we hold on to our fears and anxieties. Releasing attachment doesn't mean abandoning hope or resigning ourselves to fate. It means recognizing that while we cannot control all outcomes, we can choose how we respond. We can trust in the flow of life, finding peace in the knowledge that we have the resilience to face whatever may come. This perspective doesn't remove challenges, but it allows us to face them with a heart unburdened by the weight of fear. In today's world, many of us face fears about health, relationships, financial security, and countless unknowns. Yet each of these fears can be an opportunity to practice release. By trusting that each moment holds a purpose and that we are strong enough to adapt, we find a source of inner peace that transcends circumstance. Letting go is not passive surrender. It is an act of trust, a recognition that life has its rhythm and that our true power lies in moving with it, not against it. So next time you feel the weight of worry, pause. Reflect on what you're holding on to and ask yourself why. Imagine releasing that attachment, just as the Buddha released the cloth from the dye. In that moment of letting go, experience the relief and clarity that comes from trusting the present. As we practice this release, we begin to live with more gratitude, more joy, and a deeper connection to the beauty of each unfolding moment. Number 5. Find joy in simplicity. Happiness is in small, everyday moments. It is better to travel well than to arrive. The Buddha's words remind us that happiness isn't reserved for monumental achievements or life-altering moments. Rather, it quietly resides in the simplicity of our daily lives, often unnoticed. We tend to chase big goals, imagining happiness will only come once we've arrived at some grand destination. Yet Buddhism invites us to pause, to find beauty and fulfillment not in arrival, but in the journey itself. Consider the life of a monk, one who has taken vows of simplicity, possessing little more than a robe, a bowl, and a mindful heart. For such a person, joy is found not in the accumulation of things, but in the quality of experience. Each sunrise a gift, each bowl of rice a meal of gratitude, each breath a reminder of life's preciousness. A monk's day might seem simple to an outsider, but within that simplicity lies a profound richness. By embracing a life of fewer distractions, the monk opens himself to deeper awareness, experiencing the fullness of each moment without the constant pull of more. Imagine, then, applying this principle to our own lives. In a world that often encourages more, bigger, and faster, finding joy in simplicity becomes an act of quiet rebellion. What if, instead of rushing through our days, we pause to savor the warmth of a cup of tea, the sound of birds in the morning, or the comfort of a loved one's smile? Each of these seemingly small experiences can be a moment of meditation, a reminder that life's treasures are often found in the ordinary. A story from the Buddha's life illustrates this beautifully. Once, while the Buddha and his disciples were walking through a village, a wealthy man, intrigued by the calm and peaceful expressions on their faces, asked the Buddha, "You have no wealth, no possessions, no home. How can you appear so fulfilled?" The Buddha responded, "Our joy is in the path, in the simple act of walking mindfully and being present. Riches are in the freedom of the mind, not in what we hold in our hands." In that moment, the wealthy man realized that happiness was not about possessing, but about being. Not about acquiring, but about appreciating. We too can cultivate this mindful presence in our lives. When we let go of the constant striving and searching for something more, we begin to see the extraordinary within the ordinary. The crispness of morning air, the feeling of bare feet on grass, the sound of rain tapping against the window, each of these experiences can become a source of peace and gratitude if we allow them to. So, rather than waiting for happiness to come in some far-off destination or grand success, let's practice finding joy in simplicity. Notice the small things, honor the quiet moments, and let gratitude blossom for what's already here. In doing so, we may come to realize that true contentment has been with us all along, waiting patiently to be acknowledged, ready to fill our lives with depth, richness, and a peace that no possession can bring. 6. Harness the power of positive thinking. In darkness, seek the light. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. The Buddha's wisdom reminds us that, while we may encounter pain throughout life, we are gifted with a powerful choice: how we respond to that pain. Positive thinking in Buddhism isn't about pretending hardships don't exist. It's about embracing a mindset that seeks out growth, even in challenging times. This practice allows us to find the light amidst darkness, transforming struggles into fuel for resilience and hope. A well-loved teaching of the Buddha uses the image of the lotus flower. The lotus grows in the thick, murky waters of ponds and rivers, its roots deep in the mud. Yet, against all odds, it rises above the water, blooming in pure, untouched beauty. This flower, rising out of adversity, symbolizes the human potential to transcend suffering. Just as the lotus blossoms despite its murky surroundings, we too can rise above our challenges, choosing not to let hardships define us, but to use them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Imagine for a moment that each difficulty in life is like a layer of mud. If we let that mud settle around us, it can cloud our hearts and minds, obscuring our clarity and joy. However, if we learn to rise above it, like the lotus, we find that even life's greatest struggles can lead to beauty and wisdom. This doesn't mean we ignore our pain. It means we learn from it, find strength within it, and ultimately grow beyond it. When you find yourself in difficult times, ask, what can this experience teach me? How can it help me become stronger, more compassionate, or wiser? This shift in mindset turns every challenge into a stepping stone. Instead of dwelling in suffering, we begin to seek the lessons that hardship offers, transforming each moment of darkness into a light that guides us forward. The Buddha's teachings encourage us to practice gratitude and resilience. By focusing on the good, even in difficult circumstances, we cultivate a heart that can weather any storm. Like the lotus, we don't deny the mud but rise above it, turning adversity into wisdom. This approach to life allows us to emerge not only intact but transformed, more radiant and grounded in our true strength. So, when darkness surrounds you, remember the lotus and its journey from mud to bloom. Embrace the power of positive thinking, not as a denial of reality, but as a way to honor your own capacity for growth and resilience. With each hardship, let yourself rise, learn, and shine brighter, knowing that true peace is found not in the absence of struggle, but in how we rise above it. Conclusion: the path to inner peace and happiness. Free from fear and sorrow, in the quiet moments of reflection, we may realize that life's greatest challenges and simplest joys are woven together, each offering a valuable lesson about who we are and who we can become. The Buddhist wisdom gives us more than advice. It provides a pathway, a journey toward understanding, peace, and a happiness rooted not in fleeting successes, but in the depth of our spirit. A life lived with true mindfulness is one free from fear and sorrow, where each day is met with a sense of calm and purpose. As we've explored through these teachings, true happiness is found in how we live each day, in our ability to be present, to find strength in silence, and to release the attachments that often bind us to suffering. It's in embracing the simple joys, seeking positivity even in hardship, and learning to bloom like the lotus in muddy waters. These principles are not only philosophical ideals, they are practical tools to create a life where fear and sorrow hold no place. A life of clarity, resilience, and tranquility. The path to inner peace and happiness is not about escaping life's challenges, but about transforming how we experience them. It's about meeting each moment, whether joyful or painful, with an open heart, a clear mind, and a spirit prepared for growth. By choosing to live mindfully, to let go of fears, to celebrate simplicity, and to embrace resilience, we walk the Buddhist path, not to an endpoint, but to a life of fulfillment and meaning, free from the burdens of fear and sorrow. As you journey forward, let these teachings serve as your compass. Remember, each day brings an opportunity to find joy, to release what no longer serves you, and to deepen your connection to the present. In this way, may you create a life of inner peace and happiness, one filled with gratitude, resilience, and the quiet contentment of living without fear or sorrow. And as we travel together, may we each continue to uncover the beauty and wisdom that lie within, waiting to be awakened. Don't forget to subscribe to the Buddhist Path channel, where we explore the timeless teachings of mindfulness, peace, and inner growth. This November, I'll be sharing new rituals and practices to help guide you on your path of transformation. If you know someone who could benefit from these insights, consider sharing this video with them. Together, we can expand the reach of these teachings and create a ripple effect of positivity and awareness in the world. Thank you for being here, committing to your growth, and embracing the potential for transformation. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these principles resonates most with you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your words could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Let's build a community of shared wisdom and support. Until next time, may your journey be filled with health, happiness, and harmony.